What's up, people? In this video we are going to talk about, does the snake diet negatively affect your social life? And if it does, what can you do to minimize the damage to your social life from fasting, from not eating, from giving up all of these meals that you would normally spend? You know, that's how people spend time together. Okay, so we're going to talk about that right now. I personally am not a fan of, I like to be by myself, but you know, I also enjoy being around other people. And I don't want to give that up entirely just to like super disciplined, stick to my eating schedule. That's just me. Might not be you, might be, but anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. So if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. I'm already at 1,000 subscribers, so I can't use that as an excuse anymore, but just subscribe anyway, you know, join the party. I've got a digital marketing channel as well, so if you care about that kind of thing, check out some of the links in my description. I've got a lot of links to other videos that I've made as well, in case you want to see some more of those. Okay, so let's talk about the snake diet negatively affecting your social life, or fasting in general, or OMAD, or whatever. Now, I'm going to come right out and say it, that it is going to negatively affect your social life. Okay, there will be repercussions because people don't realize, this is something that you're not going to realize until you start fasting, which is that eating is a very social activity, and it's so social to the point where it's kind of the go-to experience for people to share some time together. Hey, let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner, let's, you know, go get some coffee, whatever the case may be. That's just how people come up with excuses to spend time together. Because you have to eat, you know, there's restaurants, or you can cook or something like that, or go have a drink if you're going on a date. Shit, where am I? But let's see, I'll go this way. I'll go this way actually. Okay. But basically you have to understand that there are going to be issues with this. For one thing, oh my God. For one thing, the people in your life are probably going to look at you and be like, what, you're not eating? Like, what is this? Are you starving yourself? Are you anorexic? Why? Blah, blah, blah. Because they don't want to, not that they don't want you to change, but they've just never heard of this before. And people's first reaction when they hear something or are exposed to something that they don't know about is generally fear, and is generally to try and talk you out of whatever it is. Because, and this is subconscious, but people think to themselves, okay, this person is trying something new. I've never heard of it. We're in a conversation. If I don't speak up and say something, and this turns out to be a bad idea, I'm going to be on the hook for the blame. And people try to avoid that. Okay, this is very common in sales, right? If you're a salesperson, or when I was a salesperson, sometimes I'm doing my pitch, the person loves it, they really want it, and then, you know, 5 minutes into the demonstration, when they're like on the hook, their husband, their friend, their kids, whatever, they come by and they don't understand what I have been telling them this entire time. They just haven't been there. They haven't heard the magic that my hair straightener can do for them. They haven't seen it, or fasting, or whatever it is, and they are more skeptical. So you have to start the demonstration over. And the equivalent to this in, you know, fasting or the snake diet world is that you have to kind of educate people from the beginning as to why fasting is good and why the snake diet is a good idea. Okay, be patient with them. Now that said, it's still going to kind of mess you up, because what are you supposed to do to hang out with people if you're not eating? Okay, now this is, you have two options really. You could just go hang out with them anyway and not eat and just sit there and, you know, drink your ice water or whatever. Or you can find something to do during the day so that you don't have to go with them and you're just not getting invited to do shit anyway, which is not really optimal. But unfortunately, I feel like that's what most people end up doing, and that's actually what I do. You know, today it's in the middle of the day. Not like I would go to lunch with any of the people that I live with anyway, not because I don't like them, they're very cool, but I am doing OMAD, right? And I work, and I have to record these videos. So I've got stuff that I need to do, so I don't even really have the time to go have lunch with them anyway. But if I'm like hanging out with my parents or something, if I'm visiting in America and I want to, you know, I don't see my parents that often, and when I do, you know, you gotta make exceptions, and you're gonna like, just because it's better to do OMAD and it's better to fast and it's better to do the snake diet, you don't have to not spend time with your family and go eat lunch every once in a while and go eat a few meals a day. You know, it's not the end of the world to do that, in my opinion, okay? Of course, if you're like a hardcore person and you make money from your appearance and you want to live the type of lifestyle of an Instagram model or professional bodybuilder or professional athlete, and you absolutely must stay at a certain body fat percentage, okay, fine. But in my experience, when I'm traveling a lot, most of the year really, and I go home for a month or a few weeks or whatever it is, I want to spend time with the people who I haven't seen for a while. And if they want to go to lunch, I'm going to go to lunch with them. You know, I don't care. It's not that important to me because I know I can just lose the weight like that if I absolutely have to. Okay, so figure out where you fall on that spectrum. You know, are you, and again, this is going to be a different answer for you if you are the type of person, maybe you don't travel a lot. Maybe you've been in the same town for years and the same job for years, and you've got the same people in your life for years, and you can go weeks or days or months without seeing them. Because what are they really doing for you? You know, are those people really helping you in your life? Or are they unconsciously, unintentionally keeping you locked into your specific type of misery? Which is possible. Again, not saying all your friends are bad people or anything like that, but they might be contributing to your perpetual unhappiness in your current state. Okay, so getting back on track, when you want to kind of minimize the damage that fasting and the snake diet will do to your social life, here's what I recommend. Okay, number one, just don't do it sometimes. You know, just eat lunch, eat breakfast, go hang out with these people that are in your life if you want to. Okay, don't let it ruin the relationships that you have with them. If the relationship that you have with them is already, you know, not so healthy, fuck them, you know, go spend time with yourself. Now, another way that it kind of makes a problem for your social life is that drinking alcohol becomes much more of a challenge, okay? Like if you want to go out at night, and I actually noticed this when I moved to New York last year. I moved to New York, I've got a couple friends there that are super social people. They could go out every single night if they wanted to and have something to do. They walk into a room and they know at least 10, 20 people in whatever room they walk into. In New York City, which is like a city of whatever, 20 million people or whatever it is. Very popular guys, okay? And I was hanging out with them, I was going out a lot, and I'm trying to fast and do the snake diet and all that. What can you do when everybody's drinking? Well, I would say that the benefit of doing the snake diet is that you don't feel like you need alcohol. When you fast for a long time, you get this kind of clarity of thought that you feel very on point and you feel very focused without necessarily needing any food or alcohol for that matter. In fact, I found it very useful to fast while going out or to go out while fasted because I actually didn't feel like I needed any alcohol to loosen me up. I was already pretty loose. So if you have that kind of social life where you have the opportunity to go out at night and go to parties and bars or whatever, it's not that big a deal to go out while fasted. And I probably shouldn't be saying this, but when I was fasting, if I wanted to have a beer or a couple sips of a beer or something, I would do it. You know, it's not the end of the world. You shouldn't do it. But this is one of those things where if you're lean and you're in shape, then you can kind of get away with breaking the rules a little bit because you know that you've already got the forward momentum to repair any damage that you've done to yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, so short answer to does the snake diet mess up your social life? Yes, it does, but there are things that you can do to kind of fix that and basically don't let it ruin your social life. You know, it's not worth it. Just, you know, be normal about it, because if you fast 6 days a week or you do OMAD 6 days a week and one day you don't, you know, you eat crappy food and you eat all day and you essentially do all the things you're not supposed to do, that's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world. Worst case scenario, just do a 48 and you'll be fine. Okay? So that's it. If that made any sense, I don't know, I feel like that video was like all over the place just because there's so much going on around me. It's kind of hard. Yeah, but if you liked it anyway, just subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know when the last time that you got off track with the snake diet because of other people. Okay, what's up, bro?
Hey,
how are you?
Man?
What's up? This is my friend. Hello.
Hello, that.
Okay, so that's it. Peace.